Here comes some fun stuff for us to take a peek at. Okay, so got a little bit of a takeoff done here on this plan, and wanted to show you about groups of items. Okay, and other softwares they may be called assemblies and parts. Here they're just groups of items that we can copy and paste into takeoff properties. So let me open this up here. Right there. There you go. In our takeoffs, we have all kinds of shrubs, and we brought these shrubs in from the schedule, the AI feature, which was really cool, and it gave us all these shrubs. And so what I did with all these, I went ahead and just added groups of items for each 5 gallon, a 5 gallon group. If I had a 1 gallon, I used a 1 gallon group in calculations. And I'll show you the math on this. So what I did first is I built the 5 gallon parts and drug them in there, okay? And when I'm all done with the math and everything and it looks good, I copy this and put it into the templates so I have a 5 gallon shrub to work with in the future. So you don't have to do this on every shrub, okay? But it was kind of fun to do this, and I'll show you the math on each one. What I've done is created these parts with that mass or batch item import. And in this case, I use the formula point count because every time you count a shrub, you got a point count. And nothing else fancy on this other than there's your bucks, for the plant cost and some markup if you want, and so on and so forth. Plant backfill, I did a little bit of a formula here, which is the point count. And then you generally put in so many cubic feet per plant pit. And then you have to convert that to cubic yards, and that's what this formula is here. And there's my price and everything else. Landscape labor factor is basically how many can you plant an hour. In this case, one person. Labor factor is always for one person on this case. Can plant 6 of those an hour. He should be able to do more, but we're going to just budget him 6 an hour. Okay. So that factored out to 0.166667. Let's go 7. How's that? Okay. And then plant tabs were a point count, the number of plant tabs per. And remember, every time you add brackets and you make a bracket, close it, left bracket, right bracket, that becomes a variable that you can then use your math down here to figure out or fill in that for the math. So number of plant tabs per point count divided by the number of plant tabs per box. In this case, there's 500 of them, so we put that in there, and it's going to give us a fraction of a box. Definitely didn't want to round up on that because every time I had a plant, I would have an extra box. Okay, and that gets pretty expensive at $80 a piece. All right, so that's how that worked out, and I did that for the 5 gallon, tested it, and then I copied these items, and every time I did a 5 gallon, I would just paste it in there. It would be perfect. And then I went back and I did a 1 gallon, and I perfected the formulas on those and the quantities and all that fun stuff, and then went through and just pasted them in all the 1 gallons. Okay, piece of cake. No, nothing new here. You guys have been doing this for a long time. And then when I was done, I just copied it and put it into into our templates, so the next time I don't have to do that. It's ready to go to work, and all I have to do is change the plant name, or even if you want to use the schedule and just copy these items into those 5 gallons, it works just as good too. I wanted to fix something here. I saw this earlier. There's my factor. It's actually times 2. It's 2 hours each for each one of those 24-inch boxes, so I needed to fix that. Anyway, so that's how it works. Now, when I was all done with this, and I'm not done with the takeoff, I'm just building as I go, and I've done soil prep so far, and I have all these factors of fertilizer, how many pounds per thousand. Let's take a look at that. Application rate per MSF, which is 1,000 divided by the square feet, or how many pounds per bag, and those are my variables. It's really fluid and versatile, so you can kind of build anything you want, and just keep building and customizing these parts until you get exactly what you want. You can have as many tractors in there as you want. You can have one for fine tuning, one for composting, one for spreading the soil prep. I mean, there's just so much you can do in here, and you can have different types of actions within this. The compost labor is here, so we can put that in, or we don't have to. You can do it's really an open book that you can start filling in the pages with. Okay, and we've done some mulches by the ton, mulches by cubic yard, mulches with fabric, and we have the fabric divided by the square foot per roll. It's just, so it's good stuff, but you're probably bored with that already. Let's look at a report, because you're just chomping to see what this looks like. Not bad, huh? So we have, let's get our cost total in here. I don't know why I just didn't keep that in there. And then we're going to close this, and then we're going to get rid of cost each. Okay, so now what we have is actually a price and a cost. And you can actually start filtering out some of these things. And we'll do this in a later video, probably after the update, because I know there's going to be a lot of report updates. Improvements or feature requests have been made, and the development team is just going crazy doing that. And it's July 9th right now, 2025. Keep an eye out for feature updates. Get on the YouTube, or not, well, you can get on my YouTube if you want for updates, but also social media, to sign in there, get on the website, say, hey, notify me, or better yet, just go try out a stinking a trial. It's a free trial, so you can just go for it. It's really nice to work within. After dealing with some other softwares that I've been familiar with, this is a breath of fresh air as far as takeoffs and being fluid and making items, building these groups, not assemblies, groups. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this. Give the software a free trial, and then there's going to be like a half-hour free training if you want to mess with it and say, hey, I can't figure this out. There's going to be a calendar on the website that you can get a half-hour of free training. I mean, you can't beat that. All right, guys, and this team here at ZZ is absolutely top-notch to deal with. You won't find better. It's kind of like, well, it's very much like the early days of Plan Swift, and it's exciting. All right, so thank you for watching. Okay, nice seeing you. Nice talking to you.